Hey everyone, it's Tim from Word of Life Church. Just wanted to come on and talk a little bit about what happened yesterday with the massacre that happened, excuse me, in San Bernardino, California, at the this inland intake facility. Not exactly sure its function. I haven't gotten that far into what they did yet. Me and the facility that this happened. And as I always say, I don't follow what most of the mainstream media says. Any of them, neither of the major two that are out there, I don't much listen to. I still get my news and stuff from secondary sites that doesn't have an agenda and that's not in the back pocket of the New World Order and the elite. So at any rate, we had this guy, was it Saeed Farouk, I believe his name was, leaving this Christmas party and coming back with these two other people, decked out in assault gear, and carrying anytime any kind of rifle was used or something kind of weapon, everybody was jumping on the bandwagon that it was an assault weapon. They said it was, pretty sure that they were saying it was or they were carrying AK-47s and pistols and also pipe bombs. So they, when they ran, they ended up going out in a blaze of glory with the police after a gun battle. And we're still not sure all what's going on. Now, of course, more is known than is being let out. That's nothing unusual. So, just keep a cool head about things. Most of all, pray for the families that lost loved ones due to this tragedy, due to what these people did. And seems like at Christmas. Has this been like the last 3 or 4 years that something like this is happening? And I know we have shootings throughout the year, but we're still not sure if they're going to be calling this a terror attack or not. Supposedly, this guy had a lot of pro-ISIS and pro-Islamic stuff on his Facebook or webpage. One, as I said, you cannot trust anything that this mainstream media is telling you. I'm sorry, you just can't. So we really have no idea. All we're going to be doing is just talking about what the mainstream news sources are saying. We're not going to be getting right at the heart of the truth of what come up. I don't know. I could almost take a wild stab at it and say that this was a program shooter ordeal, that these people were activated and come back and did this. Saying, what are you talking about program? Why would somebody do that and do that? Well, it's very simple. You want more, the New World Order and the elite want more laws, gun laws on the book. And within the first hour and a half of this happening, we have Obama and Hillary calling for more gun control, as usual. Like gun control would have stopped this. These people could have got these from anywhere, could have stolen them, could have come through the borders that are open right now, are not closed. So what are we hearing now? First and foremost, we're hearing about gun control. Okay, either a terror or a program shooter or both, whatever the case may be, about gun control. We're also talking to we need to rout out these terrorist cells and clean them out of the U.S. I thought, okay, well, thanks a lot for waiting, a year and a half with the borders open, and now when this tragedy happens, well, we decide it's a priority now to rout out these terrorist cells here in the U.S. Can everybody see what's going on? This is routing toward one source. Do this, and they're going to find out that there's so many terrorist cells that don't know who's who and what's what, and so you know what, we're just going to put more gun laws on the book, and maybe even call for martial law and voluntary turning in of your weapons, or even to the point of confiscation. Hey, it's happened. It's happened in every other country in the world. Now, people sit there thinking, well, you just seem like you're not worried about those people's lives and everything, and you're just fussing at the Obama administration and because of the gun control. I am, but I'm also, as I said, first and foremost, we need to pray for the families that lost these loved ones. Of course, that's the first and foremost, that they be comforted, because I would want the same thing if I had a family member, a friend that was shot and killed in a situation like that. I would want prayer as well. That goes without saying. So don't misunderstand me or misquote me or anything. Prayer goes up first and foremost for those people that lost loved ones. And of course, all the secondary stuff that we talk about, as said, programmed, and I just, for some reason, I have a feeling that even if they call it terror, it's still, where they the place they shot up, why they would shoot that place up, and why this guy would leave after everybody saying that he was a quiet and upstanding fella, and come back with these two other people and do this. No rhyme or reason. Now, eventually, of course, we'll never ever get to the core of the actual truth. I'm sorry. People that like CNN, people that like Fox News and some of the other main news sources, you can like them all you want, listen to them. You know what? All you're going to get is what the government, since they kind of are run by the government, nobody, believe it or not, I don't care. All you're going to get is what they want you to hear. And then everybody goes, well, okay, we'll just, and think everybody will go along with it. And I'm not calling anyone stupid or anything like that, but let's not run to our corners, the left to the left and the right to the right, and forget what we're dealing with. And this is just another cover for what the elite and the New World Order, this is exactly what they want. And we've had these things go on for the last few months. There have been more and more shootings, those definitely I would call activated shooters. But at any rate, it is a tragedy. Pray for the families, without doubt. Keep a cool head about things and reasonable. And right now is going to be a time when people's going to be at each other's throats over all the issues that go along with this. This guy an activated shooter, program shooter? Was he a terrorist, or was he both? And then, of course, everybody's going to really, really get hot-headed about all the gun control issue, and which I'm not. Look, California has some of the strictest gun laws, around, and gun-free zones. Now, I understand there's places that that you're not supposed to carry. Even where we live, there are places that you don't carry guns in. Banks, of course, unless they passed it, which I don't really readily recall. Places where they're selling, or like a restaurant that serves alcohol. I don't recall if you can actually go in and carry a gun, as long as you're not consuming alcohol, or if you can't at all. Now, places are welcome to post a something that says, hey, this is a gun-free zone, we don't want you to carry, or something like that, and you have to abide by that. But at any rate, so keep a cool head about it. Keep these people in prayer that lost loved ones, and let's pray through some outlet, and most of the time we'll eventually, some stuff we'll actually find out through the secondary news sources that I rely on, that don't have an agenda. All that they do is dig in and find out what happened, and so they don't have to worry about retribution. If one anchor on CNN or Fox News says something out of cue, out of context, that the people that run those two organizations, government, the elite, if one one of the news anchors says something out of cue, that they're not supposed to, then their career is pretty much over. They get axed out, and maybe get a job at some kind of a local small town news service or something like that. But anyway, at any rate, as I said, I don't want this to be all about the gun control, although it infuriates me that I haven't heard anything from any pro guns. Now, like I said, I haven't been into this much. I went into it a little bit last night and some this morning, but it annoys me that like I said, an hour and a half after a tragedy, the people in power right now start screaming gun control. We need more gun control. Don't even recall anyone saying anything about, hey, let's pray for the people that lost their family and friends because of this tragedy. So instead, we want to concentrate on gun control, and it seems like everything else is lower on the list. Like I said, even saying that we're going to try to route out and find out and get these terror inactive, or just haven't been activated yet, terror cells here in the U.S. and actually try to squeeze them out now. After having the border open for how long? A year, 2 years, or something like that. Oh, and by the way, Obama administration, thanks for that. Appreciate that. While you sit up there behind you walls and all your guards and bodyguards and all these senators and such and people that's in power, go to bed behind 20 feet walls with guards and alarms and whereas the common person like me or you sitting out there, we've got to do our best to protect ourselves because we don't have any type of protection such as that. And you know what? They don't want you to have any protection like that. At any rate, like I said, I'm going to get off here because more talk, it seems like the more I get aggravated and want to rant about the way things have been handled. But it happens this way every time. And I hate that this happened, like I said, right at Christmas time. And if we find out anything new, more information, especially, I'm going to keep an eye on what the mainstream is saying, just for the fun of it. I also will see how they spin things, and they will spin this what happened just the way they do everything else. But at any rate, we'll see you in the next video, and we'll find out more information and try to get back on and talk about it some more. At any rate, talk soon.